Now that we know about the different types of carbohydrates and how they're digested and absorbed, let's learn about the information provided on a food label related to carbohydrate. There are two clusters of information, the ingredients list and the nutrition facts label. Starting with the ingredients list, ingredients are listed in order of highest quantity by weight to lowest quantity by weight. So for an example, here are the ingredients listed on the Costco quinoa salad. The first ingredient is quinoa, which makes sense. The other ingredients are listed in decreasing quantities, and finally Costco listed those ingredients that are present at less than 2%. Notice they did not list individual spice names, they just say spices. Now let's look at the ingredients of Coca-Cola. Carbonated water, then high fructose corn syrup. No surprise there, Coca-Cola is predominantly sugar. In this situation, the label doesn't say sugar, but we know that high fructose corn syrup is a type of simple sugar. And another example, let's compare corn flakes to frosted flakes. The first two ingredients in corn flakes are milled corn and sugar. That might be a surprise. On frosted flakes, we have milled corn, sugar, and then high fructose corn syrup. Both cereals have added sugar. Frosted Flakes has two types of added sugar. So when you're looking at food labels and thinking about carbohydrates, it is important to read the ingredients list. Look for added sugars. There are many terms used for sugar on food labels. Those ended in "ose" are good hints like maltose or sucrose, but there are other names for sugar, including high fructose corn syrup, molasses, cane sugar, corn sweetener, raw sugar, syrup, honey, fruit juice concentrate. Now let's look at more information in the nutrition fact label portion of a food label. Let's compare a banana to Coca-Cola. I've obtained nutrition fact labels online and blocked the portion of the label that does not apply directly to carbohydrate content. Let's start with the banana. The banana contains 51 grams total of carbohydrates. 28 grams are sugars and 6 grams are fibers. So what are the other 17 grams of carbohydrates? 51 grams total, 28 grams of sugars, 6 grams of fibers, 17 grams of what? The other category is starches. Starches aren't listed explicitly on a food label, but are implied after looking at the sugar and fiber content. This might seem annoying, but the food labels are supposed to highlight nutrients that are of concern to health. In the USA, most people need to decrease sugars and increase fiber. Now let's look at other information from a food label. What percentage of calories comes from carbohydrates in each food? Be careful. The percentages listed on the right of the label are related to the overall diet. We'll talk about these in class, but to figure out what percentage of calories comes from carbohydrates in each food, we need to do some math. Carbohydrates are 4 calories per gram. This is a standard number for all carbohydrates. So 4 calories per gram multiplied by 51 total grams of carbohydrates in banana gives us 204 calories from carbohydrates. 204 calories from carbohydrates out of 200 total calories in the banana gives us 102%. That is not possible, but figures on food labels are rounded, so essentially calories in a banana are 100% from carbohydrates. Let's do the same thing for Coca-Cola. 57 grams of total carbohydrates multiplied by 4 calories per gram gives us 228 calories from carbohydrates. 228 out of 225 is more than 100%. So 100% of calories in Coca-Cola come from carbohydrates. So this all seems pretty straightforward so far, but one thing to note is about fiber on food labels. So remember, fiber doesn't get digested or absorbed in the small intestine. It goes to the large intestine where bacteria digest the fiber and make gas, but they also make short-chain fatty acids that get absorbed. So fiber does technically provide calories, and it gets lumped into the 4 calories per gram. So it's 4 calories per gram for all carbohydrates. All right, remember the Costco quinoa salad from the beginning of the video? Let's do some practice calculations from that label. How many grams of starch and what percentage of calories come from carbohydrates? Pause the video because the answers will come up next. Do your answers match? 31 grams of starch, 56% of calories come from carbohydrates. If you didn't get those answers, go back and review this video. It is important to note that there are redesigned nutrition fact labels in the works. The implementation of these redesigned nutrition fact labels was supposed to take place in the next year. However, the Trump administration has delayed the rollout of the redesigned nutrition fact labels. The redesigned labels are supposed to make it easier to identify science or evidence-based nutrition fact information that applies to everyday health. One thing that changes is the vitamins that are included. The vitamins that were included before weren't ones that most people don't get enough of. Now, the vitamins that are included are targets that people need to get more of. The redesigned food labels are supposed to make the important information more obvious with larger font and bolded font, and also use serving sizes that are more applicable to what people actually eat. And since added sugar is such a concern in health, the added sugars are separated on the redesigned nutrition fact labels. To finish the online activities, here are several nutrition fact labels that will help you complete the additional worksheet provided on Blackboard. Download the worksheet, answer the questions, and upload it before the due date. Let me know if you have any questions.